and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People want to know what makes possible.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They go play action here on first down. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's second and 10. Devin Singletary with his first carry of the game. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Blitz forthcoming as he'll look to throw. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
It's a gain of 17 yards. And a Buccaneer first down.
Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. No gain there on the completion. Second and 10.
No gain on the play. Second and 10.
On second down, here's a run with Singletary. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
51 yards on the punt there. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10.
Ready! 30 base.
Throwing on first down. Lawrence. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And got his man complete. Touchdown, New Orleans. John Ross, 81 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November. already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where we're going to be and what do we need to get. And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Off play action. Purdy. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA with a sack.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time, but it'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock the Albert away and bring up 2nd down.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again, Lawrence. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 27-yard line.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. Back to throw. Lawrence gets this one to Hill, and they'll get this down to the 10. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Josh Oliver, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. What's good on the extra point?
Brandon, would you say they went from agony to elation in just a few quick seconds on that play?
Probably thought they were about to give it up in the red zone and then touchdown.
Yeah, there is absolutely no way that they drew it up and said, this is the way it's supposed to be done. It just happened.
But the end will justify the means. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On the ground, it's Singletary. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. The numbers for him from a week ago: 12 carries, 66 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run on first down with Singletary. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Off the play fake. Purdy. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. On first down, Singletary. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marcus Davenport in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Throwing on 3rd and long. Purdy, nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Look at me, zipper, shoot.
To throw on 2nd down, Lawrence. That is caught by Josh Oliver, the former San Jose State Spartan. 22 yards there, a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Here's Eckler. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage just come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Brings up third down and 7.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on third down. On third down, here's Eckler. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
15 line. 16 line. Get it.
On first down, Lawrence. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up second down. Second 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Going on the ground with Eckler. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. A final shot before break. Lawrence. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And he will be brought down as time has now run out on this first half of action. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
It's Eckler again. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
In your face.
On third down, Lawrence. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 25 yards that time. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Blue draw Corker.
Alert 3.
Go. Ready.
Throwing again. Lawrence. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Schwartz. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 24-yard line. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. And he's got it. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Singletary again, and this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Looking to throw. Purdy nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams...
And he's got it! Touchdown, Saints! Nola Fant, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now a run with Singletary. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Need something for deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, Purdy, and that is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
This is fielded at the 27. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 14 yards is the pickup. 1st down, New Orleans.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 1st and 10, Lawrence. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Finding his way home for the sack that time, Taven Bryan. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
Buccaneers 3.
Back now here live in New Orleans. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. They'll try the right side with Eckler. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. The Saints on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Once more, here's Eckler. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. Touchdown, New Orleans! Austin Eckler, his 19th touchdown now on the season as his guys continue to pour it on. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. Saying, all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
So out come the Bucs now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Amani Hooker. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Back to throw. Purdy. And he's got his man on the out route. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And it's fielded at the 34. And call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And finally down at the 32-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellows up front in order to bring this one home.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. 2nd and 9 now. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40.
Let's go.
And they're going to speed things up here. Throwing on 3rd and long. Lawrence. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10. Looking to throw. Lawrence. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. Has a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Marcus Davenport getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's Michael Pilardi now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. This is taken at the 18. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. Space to maneuver at the 40 and all the way up to the 45-yard line. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. First down, and they stick with Eckler. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at the 46-yard line.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
Mike, 55. Go. 55.
3 buzz. Mike 5-5.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 33. And that will write a finish to this ball game.
Going the other way.
A big offensive explosion help leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Saints, the win moves them a couple games over 500 now at 7-4.